the drag's pretty well set, bud.
Welcome to On the Water Magazine's Fishing New England. I'm Jay Baver. On today's show, we're headed north to Maine in search of lake trout and landlocked Atlantic salmon. And then we're headed to southern New England to Long Island Sound, where we're going to be using the tube and worm to troll up some striped bass. Now let's head to Peabody Pond near Sebago Lake with On the Water's Matt Gleckman in search of landlocked Atlantic salmon. Many of Maine's lakes and ponds have tremendous populations of rainbow smelt. Landlocked Atlantic salmon have a chance to grow to trophy size on such lakes and ponds, and that's what Matt was hoping for on Peabody Pond near Sebago Lake. Trolling smelt pattern flies on fly rods is the traditional method for connecting on these fish, and that's how guide Chris Burnell and Matt started their day.
What I usually try to do is I give 3 short jerks about a foot long, and then after three jerks, I let it back and then pull it up about 3 or 4 feet. And with any luck at all, we may be able to actually get them right behind the boat in the slip wash, but that's usually a little bit later in the year that they come up right behind the boat. We're going to pick up the speed just a little bit too. It's funny with bait, you want to go just about as slow as you can go.
Yeah.
And with streamers, you want to go 2.5, 3 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Sometimes even a little quicker.
We started out trolling along this left shoreline here, and Captain Chris spotted a few fish breaking along the surface, so I'm gonna change techniques here a little bit and see if we can't cast to them right along the surface. Got some fish breaking the top of the water right out in front of us. This is like bluefin too.
Nice. Ooh, we spooked him. Retrieve it quick, retrieve it quick. That was a heavy fish. Landed right on top of him.
Keep your eye on Matt's line as it gets closer to the boat.
There was some weight to that fish though.
Yeah, he had a big old head on him.
Oh!
We started off this morning and trolling some streamer flies. We thought we might be able to pick up a couple of landlocked salmon. Trolling the streamers. The lake is a little bit calm, so decided to switch over and try to rig up some live smelt here. Captain Chris is going to show us how he likes to rig the fish.
Yep, well, what we're going to do, we're going to run this needle right up through him. And then we're going to pull the line right up through him, and then we're going to make a pass out his mouth to keep his mouth shut. One of the biggest keys to fishing with the smelts is to troll slow, but they have to have the right action. And the only way to keep a consistent action is to keep their mouth from opening up. So we're going to sew his mouth shut there. Once we tie him on, we'll put him in the... make a little circle with his head just about like that. I don't know if you can see that or not.
As the guys were letting their smelt out, a salmon came out of nowhere and quickly grabbed one of the smelt, and Matt was on.
I think the drag's pretty well set, bud, but you adjust it to...
There we go.
We're going to release him. We're going to want him a little more tired than that. Good job. He's still healthy. Wow. He's got some power to him.
Oh yeah, when he doesn't want to be handled, he lets it be known.
It's a lot easier when you just net them, but when you're releasing them, it's better if you can just get the hook right there.
Yep. Look at that jar on him. Just reeled in beautiful landlocked salmon. Pretty colors on that fish. You're watching On the Water Magazine's Fishing New England.
Nice job, man.
Go ahead and release this fish.
Yeah, just leave him right there a minute. Some water through his gills. Give him a little tail pinch here. Good.
Got a visual on it. Lake trout looks like a decent fish.
Yep. Yep.
The morning salmon bite was great, and to cap the day off, Matt and Chris headed to the big water on Sebago Lake to try their luck in trolling up some lake trout.
This is what we just put on, Matt. This is called the brown trout apex, and it's a very small, thin lure. So at the same bait speed, which is about a half a mile an hour, half to 3/4 tops. It still has a pretty good action to it. And took just a little tail, just a little piece of meat off the tail of a smelt, and that's all there is to it.
Yeah, it's got some weight to it.
Let me swap places with it.
Yep.
On that depth there, Matt, bring him right up slow, bud.
Yep.
In case it's something you want to let go, you don't want to.
Sure. Give him a shock.
Yeah, dude. Doing good, buddy.
Just got a visual on it. Lake trout looks like a decent fish.
Yep. Yep.
All right, Matt. Nice fish.
Nice, perfect hook right in the bottom of the mouth. But what we have here, Matt, we have a place that's called the Shoals off to the left. It comes up to about 35 feet. And off the back side of that, it's 200 plus feet of water. And then to the west of the Shoals here, we've got a place, it's called, I call it the Trench. It's about 95 feet of water.
Yep.
And this time of year in April, before the smelts get really back out of the rivers and so forth, this is one of the best areas to catch lake trout. And usually what we'll find is the fish in the morning will be a little closer to the shoals, maybe on the edge of them. When the sun gets up high, they'll move into that bottom, pretty much the deepest part of the trench.
Look for the cooler water.
Yeah, but they really don't stick to structures so much like bass do or other fish. But
Just hooked up again here out on Sebago Lake. Another lake trout. Let's see if we can work them up to the surface here.
all right. All right.
You're watching Fishing New England.
We're watching Fishing New England. That was quite a release.
It's
okay.
Pat just hooked into something.
Now we're headed to Long Island Sound, where I join Pat T-Man Renna and use his unique tube and worm system to troll up some fast and furious striped bass action. I met up with Pat at the beautiful state boat launch at the mouth of the Connecticut River. We boarded his friend Steve Nigro's boat, the Real Nice, and headed out to Plum Gut. It was my first time launching into Long Island Sound from the Connecticut River, and the scenery was classic New England. The T-Man tubing system works well on braided line. The crux of the system is the weighted interchangeable keel system that allows the use of light tackle. The T-Man tube itself is more slender than other models that imparts more action in the presentation. As with all tube systems, a sandworm on the hook is essential. Pat likes to get the juices flowing by clipping the tip of the worm. Pat fishes this area often, and he has marked his line where to fish the tube in the strike zone.
Oh yeah, all right. That's a fish. That's a better fish. Well, I tell you, it's bigger than that little 12-inch bluefish we had on before. Hopefully, it's pulling like a striped bass.
Yeah, we're due to pick up a couple of schoolies as this tide slows down.
Hopefully this is the species that we're targeting. Get the head shake like a striper. I don't know how big it is. Took a little bit of line there. It's coming right in though, like a trained fish. This is one of the ones that you've trained to come into the boat easy, Pat?
That's one of those tube samplers.
Tube sampler? So, it's not feeling like a monster.
Not a little schoolie.
But it's got some stripes, all right. This is what we came for. This is the species. Oh, he's showing some gusto, Pat. Little tussle at the end of the line here, pulling some drag.
And you'll see that tube makes a great handle. You can just lean right over and grab that
Excellent.
tube.
Oh yeah. Woo! There we go. Oh, hey buddy.
Right in the corner of the mouth, nice.
Look at that, that's beautiful. Well, that's the first striper for the day. It's not gonna be the last. The rip is
Loaded with shrimp, look at.
just setting up. Oh, look at that, his mouth's got all sorts of little shrimp in there. And has he got any sea lice on him? No, looks like he's been, oh, maybe a few sea lice on him right there. It's fresh fish.
Yeah.
Migrating fish. And we're gonna unhook him.
What do you want me to do?
Yep. It's okay.
Pat just hooked
not
into
big.
something. All right. No problem. I'll reel this one right in. You can work the boat. We got a decent fish here. We're hoping.
Right
What do you think, Pat?
Right after I drop back. Yeah, it's got some shoulders.
So you drop back a little bit.
Yep. Oh, there we go.
Fish. Oh,
Yep, he just popped off.
just popped off. Because we're fishing a very shallow area, the fish will get hung up in the bottom structure and the humps and things that we're fishing.
He's got something wrapped, Steve. He's got something wrapped. A little forward, maybe?
We've got a battle going on here. There's something going on. There could be line wrapped around it or a big piece of sea garbage. We don't know. Fish is definitely acting funny though. What do you think, Pat?
I don't know. Neutral?
Oh,
Little
there he
fish.
is.
Little fish.
I think we could probably hand this guy in.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah. 35-inch fish, maybe.
Not even.
Not even.
No, little guy.
We can do this guy.
Oh no.
Sure.
He got down in the seaweed for a second there, that's all.
Yeah. We'll get this
Grab
guy
that
in.
tube.
Grab the tube.
That's a better fish.
We're working our way up.
Better fish.
We are working our way up.
Getting the nice hook in the corner of the mouth.
That is, boy, I'll tell you what, they set these hooks in something. Man, this fish was not going anywhere, even though he tried to
Got me
get
down in
into
the
the
weeds.
weeds. There we go. Little pliers, comes right out. That's a legal fish right there, Pat.
Pretty close.
Yeah, 30 inches, I'd say. Yeah, that's a beauty. Let's release this guy. He's nice and fresh, and things are just starting to heat up. The rip is just setting up. Pat likes to fish the slack tide. We still have a little bit of moving water. It's a full moon yesterday, so things are running a little fast. As soon as they settle down, these guys say the action is going to keep getting hotter. Let's let this fish go. Oh,
Here, Steve.
well, it's going to bite down on my thumb here pretty soon. And there we go. He's kicking a little. Come on, buddy. He's biting down a little bit. Oh, ow! There he goes. He's swimming away. There you go, there's your fish, Pat. Here's your fish, Pat.
Come on, baby.
That's for you, buddy.
Very nice.
That's for you.
That's a beauty.
Yeah. Come on, buddy. There he goes, there he goes. There's another one. All right. What do you think, Pat?
Little dog. Little guy.
I'm gonna keep my rod out there and try to double up on this bass.
Another schoolie. Where there's little ones, there's big ones. Like this all day, everybody has a great time.
Great action. Need the pliers on that guy? Or
No, the
got
hook's
it,
out.
no problem.
The hook's out, another healthy Long Island Sound striper.
Let him go. Come on, baby. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. That's a fish. That's
a good one.
A fish. Head shake like a striper. Taking a little drag here. Okay, we got a little wake coming. Here comes the big wave. Gonna hold on to my fish. Hey, oh, hey.
You weren't kidding. You might have thought a ferry went by.
Another little fish. Has a head shake like a striper.
What do you want me to do? Oh, this way? Oh, there are, oh, Jared, yeah, you're gonna have to get the swan.
There we go. Just got another schoolie-sized fish. We're gonna keep making passes here because the action's definitely picking up.
Absolutely.
Definitely picking up, just like you guys said it would on the slack tide. Here comes some more big wake from the ferry. I'm gonna let this fish go before we get swamped. There he goes.
Yep, you're
Hang
good.
on.
As our days started coming to a close, we were greeted by a massive bluefish blitz. We boated many fish, but Pat knew that some bigger ones would be moving in soon. So we sent our cameraman back down to capture Steve and Pat, landing fish up to 4 times as big as the ones we caught this day.
Fish on.
Shut the boat off? Third time.
Turn that head, big girl. Yeah, nice small 30s.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Wow, that's nice.
Yep, good start.
Yeah.
Good solid start.
Yeah.
On the T-Man Scarlet.
Yes, sir.
Although the tube and worm has been around for a long time, Pat's creation is unique because of the weighted keel system. The keel allows anglers the ability to fish the tube and worm on any gear they may have instead of having to invest in a wire line or lead core setup.
Yeah, it's fooled me is right. So you see it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Ooh, baby.
He ain't done yet. That's a fish you picked up on a fast retrieve?
Yeah.
Ain't that something?
No, it's range.
So she was chasing that tube already.
Yes, he sure was.
He saw it take off and said, I gotta have it.
He's not ready yet, I don't know.
I gotta have it.
Tail down. There you go, there's your fish, Pat. Here's your fish, Pat.
Come on, baby.
That's for you, buddy.
Very nice.
That's for you.
That's a beauty.
Yeah.
Our first trip up, we didn't get the fish we were looking for, but boy, we got a great bite going on today. You can't ask for better tube fishing than this. We're getting them right here on the water.
And you're watching Fishing New England.
Thanks for watching today's episode of On the Water Magazine's Fishing New England. If you'd like to learn more about today's show or to get the best fishing forecast for your area, log on to onthewater.com. From all of us here at On the Water's Fishing New England, we hope to see you on the water.